guys, what's up everybody? It's me JW and welcome to my fan pod, the JW FanPod. This is FanPod number 5, I think, either 5 or 6. Gee, we've done a lot, so I can't remember exactly which one this is, but I think it's 5. So welcome everybody. Thank you for watching. Great to have you with me for my this fan pod. Also, just want to say thank you to everybody who submitted questions on my fan page and personal page and Twitter and everything. We had a lot of questions this time for this fan pod, so we're gonna try to get through them as best as I can. I'll try to be as quick as I can. But I just want to, before I do that, I want to say thank you to everybody who submitted questions because I really appreciate that, and thank you for your interest and support. As usual, you know, it's great to get questions, and great to know that the fans out there are interested and curious about certain things and whatever. And I'm happy to answer whatever any of your questions to a certain extent, of course. But got some great questions, heaps of them today, so we'll try to get through them. I've got them here. I've got the questions here in front of me on the computer screen, so I'm just going to be going through them. Yeah, like I said, as best as I can. All right, so let's. I'm just going to run through them. We'll get started, and hopefully your question. For those of you who submitted questions, your question won't be too far ahead. So here we go, guys. The first question is from Melanie, who's a big fan of mine over in Germany, in Europe, for those of you who don't know. And Melanie's always posting questions on my Twitter page. So, and Melanie is asking, what was the most deeply touched in your life, and would you do it all over again just as you did? I think she means, when was I think Melanie means, what was the thing that touched me deeply the most in my life, or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what she means. Hey, that's a good question. I don't know. Lots of things are inspiring. Let me see. I guess the thing that I'm most sentimental about usually in my life is stuff like probably my grandmother. She's my biggest hero. I've said it heaps of times. Those of you who have watched my fan pods and my music before, you guys know my grandmother's my biggest hero. And I did a song about her on my last album called Your Love. So, I don't know. That's a tough question, but hopefully that kind of answers that one, Melanie. I'm sorry. But thank you again, Melanie, for your support. Next one is from Edward, and he's saying, "Hi mate, how you doing? My question is, what is your favorite beer?" That's the first. I've never been asked that one before. And I'm good, thanks, Edward. Thanks for your question. My favorite beer, huh? I don't know. To tell you the truth, I really don't drink a lot of beer, so yeah, that's a tough one. I think I've tried, those Mexican beers like Corona, and they've got a few other ones from over there in Mexico. Those are pretty good. But yeah, I don't drink very much beer, so I can't really say that I've tasted a lot to be able to sort of give you a good answer to that one. I'm sorry about that. But thanks again, Edward. All right, next question is from Shelly, and she's asking me. Hold on, let me see this one. Shelly is asking me. Recently at the Grammys, Bruno Mars, Rihanna, and Sting did a tribute to Bob Marley. And when you become a wildly famous music legend, who do you want to perform a tribute to? Okay, that's a good question as well. Yeah, well, musically, definitely, Bob Marley is definitely one of my biggest heroes, biggest hero artists and musicians. Not just because of his music. Obviously, his music is, amazing and still very, very very, very popular today, even though Bob Marley passed away something like, I don't know, 30 years ago. But his music is still awesome, and still hear it all the time. And I love so many of his songs. But it's not just because of his music. We know that it's also because he was so, such an inspiration to so many people, and because he very much his music had it had social um, relevance, to different issues and um, things that people deal with, especially like grassroots people and that kind of thing. His music was very important to a lot of people, not just because of the music, but also because of its social and community relevance, those kinds of things. If I could do a tribute, I don't know. That's a tough one. It would have to be someone like that, someone like Bob Marley, who's um, played an important role, not just musically but socially as well. Those are the kind of artists who really inspire people and make a big difference. So someone like Bob Marley, I would say. Um, people like Sting. Sting's. I don't listen. I like his music. I don't listen to it that much, but um, he is very active with a lot of, sort of global social and environmental problems, and he does a lot of work. He's very active, in trying to help and trying to create awareness and those kinds of things. Um, Sting, I really admire him. I think they said that in the movie Zoolander, and I'm not trying to copy the movie Zoolander, but anyway, I know my mate Tip will comment on that. But yes, Sting is really cool. Um, Geez, I should have thought about that before I answered it, but um, very good question. I mean, I would have done Bob Marley, but they already took him. So there's my answer. Okay, and Shelly asked me another question. If you could pick one song from any artist to record a cover for your album, what would it be? Now, Shelly, I was thinking about this one once I read it, and it's a tough one as well because there are so many, old songs that I love, absolutely love. But the thing is, it got me thinking that if I really love the song that much, it's because it's such an amazing song. And then I was starting thinking, well, if I love it that much and if it's that good, is it really a good idea to cover a song like that? Like I can think of so many songs, old songs that I listen to all the time that are, that I love, that I've loved, nearly my whole life, especially old songs. Um, but thinking, geez, that would be a tough challenge to cover it and do justice to the song, so that it, you know, doesn't insult the original song and, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I was thinking of a couple old songs like there's a couple Motown songs from the Motown era that I really really like, and they're all for some reason I like all the Motown stuff, but for some reason my favorite songs from that era were all female songs. Like uh, one of my favorites is called Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow by the Shirelles. That's one of my absolute all-time favorite songs. And also there's another one which a lot of people know from obviously the Dirty Dancing movie called Be My Baby by the Ronettes. Amazing song. And there's another one called I Love How You Love Me by the Paris Sisters. Those are some of my favorite songs from the old days. Um, so I don't know, maybe I might try something like that. I'd probably try to do something like that. Maybe a song that not too many people nowadays know. There's a lot of great songs from the old days that um, the younger generation don't know. So I'd probably try to do something like that. Okay, next question is from my brother and my good buddy Nate, DJ Young Drama from Heritage in Cairns. And he's saying, yes, I got a question. Is there any time you wake up and think, how did I get here to this position? That's a good question, Nate. Yeah, I actually do that all the time. I always think, uh, a lot of people always make comments to me like, you must get sick of people always, wanting to approach you and ask for autographs and take photos, and you must get sick of your song playing on the radio, and people make comments like that a lot, and the truth is I never get sick of it. And even more, I never get used to it. It's something that, my songs have been playing on the radio for more than 10 years now, but still something that, you know, still like kind of gives me a thrill. It's like it's always cool. It's always something that no matter how many times I hear my song on the radio, it's always like, wow, it's cool. I'm very lucky to have those kind of blessings, to have fans and to have my song on the radio. Never get used to it. Never take it for granted. So yeah. So I guess that's kind of relevant to your question. I do all the time. I'm very aware of. I never just sit back and just sort of kind of brush things off or get used to it or just kind of take it for granted. All the things that happened to me in my career, all the positive things, I always take note, and I'm very conscious of all those things. And I do take a moment every time those things happen to appreciate them. So yeah. All right. Next question is from Rawali, and um, the question is, "Hi Justin, I would like to say you are one of the best music artists that we have in PNG, and I love all your songs. Thank you very much, Rawali. And here is my question: what was your biggest achievement in life apart from music? And do all of your songs lyrics talk about your life? Emtaso. Have a great weekend and keep up with the music. Much love." Thank you, Rawali, and much love to you as well. Thank you for your question. My biggest achievement in life, apart from music, that's a tough one as well, because music is pretty much all I do. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess a big achievement for me. It's not so much a kind of a. It's not so much a kind of a personal goal or achievement. It's much more about in my own life. A couple of years ago, I was I had a serious goal in my own personal life to save up money and get enough money to buy a house. That was a kind of an important thing for me, to buy my own place instead of just rent. So, and that was a serious thing for me, and it took planning and commitment, and it was like a real conscious thing. And um, you know it was one of those things where years ago I never thought I would be able to afford my own house or whatever. But um, I sort of committed to it, saving up my money, and eventually I had enough to buy my own place, and that was a big deal for me. So that's probably one of the biggest things for me. I don't know if that's really what you meant, but yeah. And also the second part of the question was, do all your song lyrics talk about your life? Not always. No. Some songs are definitely from personal experiences and from my own life and that kind of thing. But some songs are not. Some songs are just kind of. Sometimes when I'm thinking about writing a song or a story in a song, I'm just imagining a story, or imagining a scenario. Or so it really depends. Every song is different. Some are personal, some aren't. Some are just kind of come from my imagination. Okay, next question is from Daniel. And then it says, "Hi bro, I love the type of music you produce. What's your inspiration?" Okay, that's a good question. Many things inspire me to write music. Um, just in my music so far that I've done, I would say the biggest thing that inspires me is other music. So there are we kind of touched on this before, there are lots of songs that I really love and kind of sentimental to me. that inspire me. So music would be the biggest thing that inspires me. Listening to other people's music and songs that I love, but also other things, family and friends and things that I see and witness. You know, lots of things. Again, it's really it kind of it depends. Each song is different and inspired from something else. Alrighty, okay. Next one is from Ben's Jewel. I think that's how you pronounce it. All right, hi JW. I'm a major fan of you. Loving music, and you rock. Thank you. And where are you actually from? Okay, I get asked that question a lot as well. Okay, I'm my my I guess my heritage. I'm Australian, and my family my my family migrated from PNG long time ago, before I was born, and lived there for a long time in PNG before I was born. My family lived in PNG for a lot, I think something like, I don't know, 3 or 4 decades, and then eventually, eventually I was born in PNG. I was born in PNG as well, and I grew up most of my early life in PNG. So I guess that's what you could say. I'm an Australian from PNG. Grew up in PNG. Didn't really spend any time in Australia in my early life. Was all in PNG. So, to me, PNG feels like home, and I still think of PNG as home. So yeah. All right. The next one is from Glory, and Glory is asking, "Can you be my Valentine for 2014?" Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you to ask me that. Um, and and then she said it, LOL, after her question. So thanks, Glory. Why not? I'll be a Valentine, sure. Next year, it's a day, okay? And thank you again. Okay, next one is from my brother Tulanga over in Samoa. Tulanga is the guy who's produced a lot of my video clips, like So Much and Island Sound, Island Girl. This is Tulanga is the producer and director of all those clips, and he's he likes to give me a hard time. So this is his question: is it true you're from the lost tribe of the forgotten white people of PNG? See what I mean? He always likes to joke around and give me a hard time. Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Thanks, buddy. All right, next one is from Kemsi. And Kemsi's asking, do you give out copies of your CDs to your fans, the latest? And the answer is yes. We always, me and my management, we always do give out some free copies to fans and stuff. While I'm on that topic, that's a good question. I just want to say, because a lot of my fans out there don't realize, I actually have an official fan club now on Facebook. It has nothing. I'm not involved in the operating or management of the fan club at all. It's actually run by my fans, a select handful of my best fans, my biggest fans. So they operate it completely. I don't. So it's basically just run by the fans for the fans. So if you get a chance and you want to join my fan club, go to Facebook and type in the search bar JW or Justin Wellington fan club, and on my fan club, every now and then they do little competitions or little I guess little things that where they get I don't know, I forgot what they call them, little competitions for fans to answer questions and those kind of things, and they have free giveaways for like stuff like CDs, photos, merchandise, T-shirts, caps, all that kind of stuff. They do that on my fan club, so have a look. Check out my Justin Wellington fan club on Facebook. Alrighty. Okay. Next question is from Frida. Hey JW. Firstly, congrats on your Vegas show. Thank you. When you write your songs, which comes to you first, lyrics or melody? And how do you know when a song's just right or complete? Oh, actually, she's asked me quite a few questions. I'll answer the first one, the first part of the question first. Which comes to you first, lyrics or melody? Good question. That's actually a really good question because not a lot of people ask me that. But the truth is, it's always melody. For me, when I'm writing my songs, melody always comes first because to me, that's the most important part of a song is the melody. That's what lyrics are important, um, but um, like especially for me, when I like a song, sometimes I don't even know. Oh, like a good example is I listen to a lot of music that's in other languages, like especially Pacific Island music and African music, and a lot of the music from those places is in a different language, and I don't understand, a lot of those languages, but I love the music, and it's still, music is still very powerful, even when you don't know what the lyrics mean, and that really comes down to the melody is what touches people when they're listening to music. So, for me, that's the most important part of when I'm writing a song. So I always do the melody first and lyrics second. Alrighty. And the second question from Frida was, how do you know when a song's just right complete, or just right or complete? Uh, that's that really depends. Um, a lot of times, I guess, um, when I feel like basically I guess sometimes it's kind of like an essay. Sometimes you got to write a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when I've sort of come up with those things in a song, um, I kind of feel like it's ready. But the thing is with songwriting and creating songs, it's not just the songwriting stage that's uh, it's not just the songwriting stage that's the creation of the song. It's also the recording of this. A lot of the creation and creativity and extras come into the song during the recording stage as well, not just the writing stage. So because there's a lots of things that come in the recording that you can't actually write, like little ad libs and things like that, harmonies and stuff that come in on the recording and engineering side that you can't actually write. It's just part of the production stage. So um, it, I guess the when it's done, when you're in the production and recording stage, when you feel like okay, you know that it's like I guess my main goal is always to make sure that I feel like my fans are gonna like it, and people who listen to my music are gonna like it. Once I kind of get that feeling, then I know that it's done and it's ready. Okay, and Frida's other question is, um, there's been a lot of concern about piracy of PNG music, cheating artists. What do you think would be a suggestion in addressing that? That's a tough question. It's a good question. It's that's an issue that's been um, a challenge for the whole music industry across the whole world for quite a few years now, more than a decade, ever since particularly um, internet downloading and piracy, and now digital sharing of music through digital media players like iPods, phones, stuff like that. It's very easy for music to be pirated and shared and spread. You know, um, and it is a concern, but I think I mean artists when that happens, when music is pirated, obviously artists miss out on the proceeds of the music, the income that they would have made from music like that, um, and stuff like that. We will miss out on a lot of benefits, but there are a lot of other benefits which I'm really really supportive of some parts of new technology, because the thing is, we might miss out on some things like the money and that, but also if music spreads a lot more, even if it is illegal, it means a lot of more people are going to hear my music, and it might get a lot more fans because of that, and a lot more exposure. There's a lot of positives on the flip side of the negative. So Um, yeah, so I guess the main thing was that we'll miss out on income and sometimes um, legitimate acknowledgement for our music and those kinds of things. But a lot more people will hear our music and it'll get around a lot more. So there's negatives and positive. And in terms of piracy, at the moment, there's not really much anything anybody can do about it. It's just it's just a reality that's facing the world, and like I said, there's good and bad. So, alrighty, next one is from Jaren Cito, my friend in Brisbane. Okay, she's kind of asking a question that free to ask as well. Lyrics or music? Melody always comes first, and then lyrics. And yeah, and then there was another second part of her question. How do you decide which musicians to collab with? Um, yeah, that's pretty easy. Like um, from what I found, because I've recorded and performed with a lot of famous musicians from mainly throughout the Pacific Islands, and I've always found most of the time, most artists are always really really cool, genuine people, and down to earth and um, just positive people, easy to get along with, talented. So it's not hard to organize collabs with other artists because even though other people might not know them personally, but most other artists you know, um, are really cool and genuine people. So it's easy to kind of get into that, get into a sort of frame of mind where you can sort of collab and work together with other artists and just be creative together and work together, that kind of thing. So it's pretty easy. I've done a lot of collabs, and there's more coming soon. So yeah. All right. Next question is from, I think you pronounce it Tilan Nomo. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Alrighty, and the question is, can you be my Valentine for 2014? Okay, another one. And good luck, and bisous from New Caledonia. Bisous means kiss in French. Kiss from New Caledonia, and especially from Vaud. All right, cool. Thank you very much, Dylan. Vaud is a town in northern, kind of up northern New Caledonia. I've been there before, and I did a concert in Vaud one time. It's a beautiful place, and I really enjoyed it there. Thank you, Dylan, and yes, I'll be your Valentine too. What the hell? It's the date. So next year, all right. And thank you for your question. All right. Next one is from Monica. And the question is, how do you feel when people say your songs are the best? I feel great. I love that. I love it when people like my music. Yeah. All right. And next question from Hazel. How do you feel when you perform your songs in a big concert? It's a great feeling. I perform all the time. I'm doing performances just about pretty much every single weekend, but I don't get the chance, or I'm not. I only do big concerts every now and then, so I'm not doing big concerts all the time. So big concerts are like with big stages and big crowds, thousands of people. I get to do that every now and then, not all the time. So it's pretty cool. It's always a bit of a thrill to do big concerts, and especially when I'm doing my songs and people know them in a big, from a big crowd. Yeah, it's really cool. I love doing that. And it's a buzz. You can get nervous as well because it's it's one of those things that doesn't happen all the time, but it's always a good experience and fun as well.